4:47 a.m., Miami, Florida, January 14, 2026. 41 federal agents moved through pre-dawn darkness toward a glass tower on Brickell Avenue. No sirens, no announcement. The lobby lights were still on. Inside Meridian Financial Partners, the night security guard was on his third cup of coffee. He wouldn't finish it. What happened inside that building over the next 4 hours closed an 18-month wiretap operation targeting the largest cartel money laundering network discovered in South Florida in a decade. 12 simultaneous locations, 3 states. One bank that moved $340 million in cartel funds through accounts that looked, on paper, completely ordinary. The investigation didn't start with a tip or an informant. It started with a number that didn't add up. October 2025. FinCEN Quarterly Data Review. FBI Financial Crimes Unit, Miami Field Office. Analyst Sandra Reyes was running routine pattern analysis on suspicious activity reports when one institution kept coming up: Meridian Financial Partners, a mid-size private wealth management firm. Licensed, audited, unremarkable. Wire transfer volume was up 340% in 11 months. The kind of numbers that put a federal agent's hand back on the keyboard at 2 in the morning. The strangest part? Every transaction cleared compliance review. Perfectly. Every time. Reyes flagged it. The case landed on Special Agent David Carrera's desk 3 days later. Carrera requested a Title III wiretap authorization in November 2025. Federal judges don't approve those fast. He spent 6 weeks building the probable cause package: surveillance logs, transaction pattern analysis, corporate registration cross-references, showing Meridian's holding companies traced back to shell entities in Panama and the Cayman Islands. The warrant came through December 9, 2025. What the wiretap captured in the first 2 weeks was careful, professional, and almost impossible to prosecute. The subjects used coded language, conversations about portfolio adjustments, and client reallocation. Nothing explicit, nothing usable in court. 3 months of surveillance. No clean recording of anyone saying anything incriminating. Then a courier made a mistake. A man identified in surveillance logs as transporting bulk cash between warehouse locations in Hialeah was stopped on a routine traffic violation January 6, 2026. Miami-Dade patrol officer. Expired registration. Standard stop. He had $84,000 in banded bills in a gym bag on the back seat. His name was Marco Tejada, 31 years old. No prior federal charges. 3 children. Tejada agreed to talk. Body camera footage from the interrogation room captured him sitting across from federal agents, hands flat on the table. The question of when a person becomes responsible for the system they keep running was left for the court. Over the next 5 days, Tejada met with Carrera and Assistant U.S. Attorney Linda Park 4 times. He described the operation in detail. Cash collected from distribution networks across Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee. Transported to 3 staging locations in Miami-Dade County. Then moved through Meridian accounts as investment capital from front companies registered as import-export businesses. The man coordinating Meridian's side, a senior relationship manager named Paul Ochoa. Ochoa appeared on body camera footage the morning of the raid, composed, cooperative, nothing in his manner that would have raised flags. 9 years at Meridian. Graduate degree in finance, clean record. The kind of background that moves through a compliance check without a second look. Here's what this tells us about operations like this. The most effective laundering doesn't look like crime. It looks like successful wealth management. The infrastructure is real. The staff think they're working at a legitimate firm. Only a handful of people know what the money actually is. Carrera now had a cooperating witness. He also had a problem. Tejada's information was enough to arrest Ochoa. It wasn't enough to reach whoever was giving Ochoa instructions. The wiretap answered that 17 days later, January 9, 2026. A recorded call between Ochoa and an unidentified number routed through a Venezuelan communications provider. 42 seconds. The call referenced the Miami schedule and final movement before the first. 4 days before the raid date, the task force had already set. Someone above Ochoa knew the window was closing. Carrera was caught on dash camera footage leaving the warehouse district 72 hours ahead of schedule, unmarked police sedans already repositioning behind him. The raid involved 4 federal agencies: FBI, DEA, IRS Criminal Investigation, and HSI. 41 agents across 12 locations simultaneously. Meridian's Brickell office, 3 warehouse locations in Hialeah, 6 residential addresses, 2 storage facilities in Coral Gables. All entries within a 90-second window, 4:47 a.m. At Meridian, agents secured the server room within 4 minutes. Ochoa was taken into custody at his desk. He had come in early that morning. His computer showed active file deletion beginning at 4:31 a.m. The deletion software had been running for 16 minutes when agents cut power to his workstation. Forensic recovery later retrieved approximately 60% of the deleted files. At the Hialeah warehouse on NW 74th Street, agents found $4.2 million in currency, sorted and banded. K9 units confirmed cocaine traces on the packaging materials. 3 individuals arrested on site. By 9 a.m., 11 of 12 targets were in federal custody. The 12th location, a storage unit in Homestead registered to one of Meridian's front companies, was empty. No evidence, no occupants. Cleared within the previous 48 hours. One detail from the court filings that stuck with me. The Venezuelan number Ochoa called on January 9 was traced to a prepaid device purchased in Caracas. The device was never recovered. The person on the other end of that call has not been identified. Ochoa faces charges of money laundering conspiracy, bank fraud, and operating as an unlicensed money-transmitting business. If convicted on all counts, he is looking at a maximum of 47 years. Tejada was walked out in handcuffs, the arrest scene logged and photographed. What the cameras didn't show was the cooperation agreement signed shortly after, sealed, with a sentencing recommendation still pending. $340 million in documented transaction volume identified. $4.2 million in physical currency seized. Meridian Financial Partners placed under federal receivership pending asset forfeiture proceedings. The network Tejada described had been operating in some form since early 2023. The 18 months of this investigation covered one chapter of it. The unidentified caller from Caracas is presumably still working. Subscribe if you want to follow how this case develops. Federal money laundering prosecutions take years to fully unfold, and this one is nowhere near finished.